The island country of Japan experiences frequent large earthquakes. Japan is located off the east coast of Asia and is an archipelago nation comprised of 4 main islands. The largest and most populous is Honshu. The islands go in order from north to south. First, Hokkaido, then Honshu, Kyushu, Shikaku, and over 3,500 smaller islands. Japan stretches over 2,360 miles, creating a variety of climate. The Japanese people are used to words like tsunami, volcano, fault, earthquake, and hurricane. On March 11, 2011, Japan experienced the strongest recorded earthquake to hit Japan. It was followed by a large unexpected tsunami, a lot of damage and many casualties. Even though Japan is the most prepared country in the world for earthquakes and tsunamis, Japan and the rest of the world learned a lot from the 2011 Great East Japan earthquake and tsunami. 2 days prior to the magnitude 9.0 earthquake, a magnitude 7.2 earthquake hit offshore eastern Honshu. It was followed by 3 aftershocks greater than magnitude 6.0, which produced a maximum 60-centimeter high tsunami that struck the coast half an hour after the quake. Unfortunately, this was not the massive temblor, but all 4 shocks for the magnitude 9.0 earthquake that hit 40 kilometers north of the magnitude 7.2 quake. This had surprised everyone. This large earthquake occurred at a subduction zone where the Pacific Plate and the Eurasian Plate meet. The Pacific Plate underlies most of the Pacific Ocean, and the Eurasian Plate is under Japan. A magnitude 9.0 earthquake can happen because cold ocean plates slide underneath warm continental plates. Since the oceanic crust is cold, sticky, and not well lubricated relative to other crustal materials, it jams easily on the Eurasian Plate. Also, the bigger the fault line, the bigger the distance they slide, the bigger the earthquake. The ruptured rocks that broke to trigger the 2011 Tohoku earthquake were located 80 miles from Shida, Honshu. That location is called the epicenter. This rupture caused a devastating tsunami. A tsunami can be triggered by several types of events. Earthquakes are by far the most common potential causes. Tsunamis can also happen because of an underwater landslide, the collapse of part of a volcano that slides into the sea, a submarine volcanic explosion, or the impact of an asteroid or comet hitting the ocean. The Great East Japan earthquake caused a tsunami by uplifting the seafloor, when the Pacific Plate slipped toward Japan and generated the tsunami by uplifting the ocean floor by around 10 feet. Tsunami waves radiate outward like a pattern made by a pebble thrown into a pond of water. The tsunami waves act in this way because the tsunami causes the seafloor to uplift. This uplift initially forms an elongated dome of water parallel to the geological fault. Then the dome collapses and distributes tsunami waves. Additional waves can be generated by aftershocks. The Great East Japan tsunami was 50 feet high. Its maximum travel inland was 12 miles and caused devastating disaster to the people of Japan. Due to well-engineered buildings in Japan, the loss of life was minimal from the earthquake, but 93% of the 16,000 people who died that day perished from the tsunami. The tsunami flooded 200 miles squared of land. For at least 3 years, farmland could not be cultivated because it was destroyed by saltwater inundation. In total, there were 9,079 deaths. There were 2,628 injured, and there were 12,664 missing. There were 4.4 million homes without electricity and 1.5 million homes without water. The estimated economic loss was $171 to $183 billion. This is a well-complete and well-designed dashboard by digital surgeons that covers the damage caused by the earthquake and tsunami. This picture is developed by Paul Nicholas. It's a great tool to visualize the sheer number of quakes in the region since March 11th. The map presents a time-lapse visualization of the earthquake and its aftershocks. Since predicting earthquakes is in its infancy, Japan has become the most prepared country in the world for earthquakes and tsunamis. The Japanese new design codes limited structural damage for buildings that were updated. Due to the seismometer network built, Japan's citizens were given enough time to take immediate shelter from the earthquake. Just 8 seconds after the P waves from the 2011 Great East Japan earthquake were confirmed, an automatic alert went out to 124 television stations and 52 telephones. Before the solar S waves arrived, the alert provided cities like Shida with 10 seconds of early warning, and Tokyo received about 80 seconds of early warning. Regularly practiced tsunami drills saved many lives. Everyone knows where to go because there is a high degree of participation. People use schools and hospitals for vertical evacuation shelter during a tsunami. The reason the tsunami caused so many casualties is because most towns did not have high enough structures for such large waves. Since the process of forecasting earthquakes is in its infancy, Japan has spent lots of money on preparing for earthquakes and tsunamis. The Great East Japan Earthquake and Tsunami has taught Japan that preparing for natural disasters is very important for the safety of their country.